pain when our pelvis is not well controlled and we go into that anterior position. And often that's not a lot, but when we lift and load, that's an easier position to get into because it's more stable for our spine. But what it does is it narrows that hip socket capability. So I'm going to see if y'all can follow me. So if I have, let's put a bar behind me. If I have this behind me, I'm going to go right here, and I stick my butt back into that normal position, this is that's my depth. If I tuck my pelvis and allow my abs to do a better job, open the hip socket, get my back out of that extended position, I can get all the way down because it opens that space in the front of my hip. So alignment is really, really huge, and there's actually literature to show that the more we go into that tip, we're actually creating an impingement syndrome and even bony anomalies, bony growths, because bone creates more bone when there's impact. And every time you go into that position, it makes that femur jam into the hip socket. So find a way to get your abdominals stronger. Once again, you can come see me for that. But working on that positioning. So that also goes with deadlifts. What I often see is we tend to, overextend or we round. So finding that neutral and then working on deadlifting where you have a little bit of lumbar curvature. You don't want to completely eliminate that. That can irritate discs. But you also don't want to be super extended where we don't have that ability. So if you're going to practice here, tucking and then working on getting down where you're not going more into that extension is a fun little drill y'all can try. So alignment of the ribs is also important. We didn't talk about that. The alignment of that pelvis is what's going to keep that anterior hip from getting pinched, as well as that posterior hip from being overstretched. And even those hamstrings from being overstretched and creating tendinopathies at that insertion site. Thanks. Holla if you need help.